This is my newly modified Hyperfire. At first glance you can see the gloss black paint job on both sides. The front barrel is orange and the back piece is silver, but everything else is black. The places of friction, like the trigger and the sliding mech, are all lubricated with silicone oil, so that protects the paint and allows a smoother operation, which is always good. So all the pieces have been sanded, primed, and there's 3 thin gloss black coats. And modifications include electrical tape under the O-ring, which pushes the O-ring out more, creating more air pressure and greater air output. And to compensate for the extra friction, silicone oil has been applied to the O-ring, which is safe for it, and that allows the plunger head to still move fast while getting a nice air output. Air restrictors have been removed, as you can see from the front. There's no pegs, and there's no more of the spring and the plastic piece restricting the air output. So the plunger, if you fire this blaster with no darts, you'll hear more of a louder sound now, and that's because there's nothing restricting the air. The plunger head will just move straight forward, and with the O-ring increase, the air output will also be a lot greater. And everything's functioning perfectly. The only parts on the paint that everything's pretty smooth, like you can see from the camera. Only paints that are slightly red is here. It's slightly red, but I don't want to go through the trouble of painting that. And that seems to be it. Oh, and back here, tiny bit of red. And that's just because I didn't reach those areas. It was pretty bright, reflective, good time for painting. And it's just a little bit. It's not very noticeable unless you look at the top and the back like close up. But overall, it just looks pretty nice. And this blaster is pretty underrated. Many people don't use the Dartac blaster because, well, they're like, it's pretty big for its size. They think the foregrip is not useful, and it's for this size it can't act as a primary. But I think if you're holding a Maverick, which is 6 barrel, the Maverick's pretty big size. You can carry this with one hand, and you can carry the Maverick with one hand. And this can hold 4 more darts. And it's a lot easier to load this blaster since it's open faced compared to Maverick. And the range on this blaster, with my modifications, is hitting just as well or even farther than a modified Maverick. The spring seems to be stronger, which also might be a reason. And now I can fire Stephens with these darts. So I have 3 Stephens and 3 streamlines here. These are the same Stephens that I have in my shop. And I'm gonna fire this off. I'm about 25 feet away from that shed over there. Okay, so here's my Dartac blaster. I have 3 streamlines. Wait, let me test. Oh. So I have 3 streamlines and 3 Stephens. Okay, so it's all loaded up. 6 darts, and I'm aiming leveled at that shed over there. Okay, as you can see just now, at first a couple shots where the darts weren't in too good condition, but still hit the shed with quite some force. And the 3rd dart hit pretty nicely, and the last 3 hit really nicely. And this, because those are Stephens, they tend to be more accurate. But this blaster's hitting very nice ranges. Just very convenient, and it looks pretty nice. I'm not looking for much out of this blaster, so I'm not doing the little touch-ups like that. And back here, those are the only tiny bit of red parts, just as a buyer you should know. And I'm just gonna put this at $5 and let people decide how much they want for it. For my cost, the blaster was about $7 for me, and the paint was about $3. Modification time was about 1 hour, so overall I'm looking for at least over $10 so I can just get my money back for it. I would love to keep this, but I like to fund my future projects, so this will help me a lot. Thank you very much.